Talking about toxic masculinity, I think the two go hand in hand, because when we pick up gender roles, it's basically what society tells you how to act. And toxic masculinity is how we tell the boy child to act. For instance, there's sort of like a bias to say boy children don't cry. They can't show any emotion. They can take health risks more than girl children. They're almost encouraged to take health risks. For instance, being promiscuous and having multiple partners, not voicing out their opinions. It's okay if they abuse drugs and they actually imbibe in alcohol than it is for the girl child. So it's all of those traits that we associate to the male figure, and we make it right for the male figure to act in a certain manner that is toxic for them toxic for society.
Is it really that we really encourage these issues? Or is it more on that we want to protect females from indulging in these?
I think, JT,
if
we're a society that wants any sort of development, and we want our people to be advanced and be developed and have a great, we need to protect both. So in protecting these, we encourage the other, because I'll make an example of when children are young. Let's say two children are young in a home. The boy is encouraged to go out late at night, and the girl, when they come back from school, where were you? They'll even hit the girl child. But the boy, it's okay for them to be out, and where exactly is that child? Whereas if a curfew is in the household, whether girl or boy child, it's a curfew for this household, and those children need to learn to be responsible and to take responsibility of every action that they conduct. So it's about that. Toxic masculinity is those encouraging traits that we have for men, especially when it comes to the emotions.
I'm just wondering what the outcome is of actually allowing the male child or the boy child to go out and enjoy himself and do whatever, whilst the girl child is questioned.
Yeah, I want to also have Sakhile's opinion on this one, but I think the result of this is we have a society where men are entitled. They're entitled to be free, to do whatever they want. They're entitled to be stronger and not voice out their opinions, and they have barriers, So it's much more harder, but at the same time easier for them to break down. But their coping mechanism would be acting more macho, acting more stronger. So it also perpetuates gender-based violence.
Yeah. Sakhile?
I think for me it would be taking it back to the sense that there's a level of masculinity that's healthy. I mean, that's why we say it's toxic masculinity, A certain element of it, like Zanele was saying, the encouragement of certain things then becomes, in excess. Yeah. And that's where it becomes toxic. But the result of our toxic masculinity trait as a people, as men in our society, is leading and continually doing so to the objectification of women. Now, the more we continue to objectify women as men, Zanele said as well, it's the entitlement that then comes in. That's why we're seeing so many rape cases perpetuated by men. That's why we're seeing so many femicides, a lot of killings of women by men, and in turn actually having men committing suicide further, because there's also an understanding of that what I am doing is wrong, and as such I cannot live with myself because of what I have done. So that element of objectification that we continue to encourage through the small things, a boy child when it's still a child is not allowed to cry because you're supposed to be a man, It's okay to be a man, but at that stage, that child is not supposed to act or be a man. That child needs to cry as much as the girl child is crying, because we are encouraging being in touch with one's emotions, because being in touch with one's emotion is going to bring an element of understanding that this is where I can get to.
Is it not going to cause an imbalance?
I see what
and
make
the males look weak or make the males look weaker?
Exactly. Toxic masculinity. There it is. It's that inferiority complex that has been embedded in the psyche of of all men that we have in our society. But also, it's a topic that we don't touch on, but there is a certain level of toxic femininity as well. Yeah. However, because we're in a society that's encouraging patriarchal standards, we're going to have an over excess, if I may put it like that. There's no word like that, but there's going to be an excess of the masculine traits that men actually, and it trickles down to, unfortunately, the women.
Yeah, but aren't organizations such as your organization actually promoting more of the women power instead of actually bringing, instead of actually creating a balance? Because you always have, I see Zanele basically leaning forward to the mic. We have so much of education, we have social media, we have talk shows, and, we have so many people expressing themselves in different ways and in different, in different manners. Is women empowerment therefore really necessary, or is it a political horn that...
I think, JT, because we do not have women in power that much in the country. Yeah. And women have been oppressed for so long, and have not played a role in the development of the country, or in the development of the societal, cultural, economic side of the environment. Okay. We do need women empowerment. So when we talk about gender equality, is giving these people the same platform to go and achieve. But then when we talk of gender equity, we recognize that this one is 2 steps below the other one. So even if you give them the same tools and you say they should go somewhere, this one still has to hike up 2 steps and then run. Yeah. You understand? So that's what women empowerment comes in, to say we need to give them the leverage to get to the same playing ground before we say these people are at the same playing field and they have equal opportunities of achieving any success. So women empowerment is necessary. Yes, there are some points where we talk of an overlapping or overemphasis of women empowerment. Yeah. And that is where we have also recognized that we also need to bring up and dispel toxic masculinity and dispel all these other societal norms. So we would say all of these things that make us think that's who we are supposed to be, so that we can be able to get to a place where both men and women are actually participating equally.
Okay.
I think just before you jump in, I want us to understand that women empowerment is not organizations such as WILSA giving women diabolical plans to overthrow men. It's not that. Okay. It's women empowerment is doing something for women that has been done for men ever since time immemorial. We're just educating women about being women in a society like this. That's all.
Yeah.